What's up, y'all? I'm back. It's your girl Amarachi, and I'm just here to give my thoughts on Married to Medicine latest episode. So this is season 11 episodes. It's been a long day, but I'm trying to because after today, I don't know what the rest of my week is gonna look like. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me record my thoughts so I can get it out. All right, we get back to the episode where we left off. King is charging at Dr. G. Check is now holding King back with a drink in his hand. Dr. G's back here. Dr. G does a little 1-2 step away from King. I said, okay. And then next thing you know, the other guys come over. Now they holding King back. I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like if King really wanted to get at Dr. G, he could have. Because Shek was, okay, this is Dr. G back here. This is Shek right here. Shek has a drink in his hand. Shek is like this. So King could have maneuvered around Shek. So I'm like, bruh, so you did all that charging and taking your shirt off to not make contact. I'm not saying I wanted them to fight. I'm not a fighter. I didn't even want them to fight in the first place, but I'm just saying all that you were doing. Really, bruh. We see Quad saying, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no, baby, don't do this. They're holding everybody back. Now T, oh, why am I out of breath? Now we see T coming over to King to like, I don't know what she was saying to King, but then Quad is like telling her like, T, no, go to your husband, go to your husband. I'm like, T, I mean, I understand T, because in that moment of adrenaline, when that adrenaline is pumping, it's like anybody can get it, okay? So, but then on the other hand, T, you're a woman, King is a man. What do you think he could possibly do? But T says she has combat training, and in combat training from the military, they fought both men and women, so maybe she is about that life. I don't know. Maybe she's about, but then she said she's never been in a fight. But later on in the episode, she said she's never been in a fight. So how do you know if you're about that life if you've never been in a fight? Ooh, my hair's sticking up. So King tells Quad that Dr. G had said that he told Quad to shut the F up. And Quad seemed shocked. I was like, wait, am I missing something? I thought Quad already knew that. Am I missing something? So Quad seemed shocked. So King said, I'm gonna read what King said because I can't. So King said, you're not gonna talk. You can talk to your wife like that, but you ain't gonna talk to my woman like that. And then told Quad, you don't have to worry about Greg. He ain't gonna speak to you. You can say whatever you want about him. I was like, King, in what world is that okay? I was like, nah. Hold on, let me make sure. That don't even sound. I was like, no. If Quad can speak on King, if Quad can speak on Gregory, then Gregory can speak on Quad. Is because you're not about to tell King, you're not about to tell Gregory, don't speak on my woman, but then tell your woman she can say whatever she wants about this man. Like, no, the man has every right to defend himself. Every right to defend himself. Even though like Dr. Gregory's actions to me is a little suspect, especially the way he talks to Sweet Tea. I said, bruh, what? But yeah. So after that whole almost tussling, Dr. Simona's like, all right, we gotta go. So she splits them up. So now there are 2 boats taking them back to the resort. Everybody else is on the first boat. Heavenly, Shek, T, and Dr. Gregory, they're on the second boat. So Contessa is asking Heavenly, because Heavenly and Contessa were sitting close to each other. So Contessa asked Heavenly, you okay? Heavenly says yes. Contessa's like, what is your issue with T? And then Heavenly says, she's too volatile. She's always doing all of this. I'm like, Heavenly, what? You have the nerve to call somebody volatile. That's why you can't get along with somebody. I was like, Heavenly, you are the definition of volatile. You are always saying shit before you think. And then I'm like, so basically, you're seeing yourself in T. That's what you don't like. And I'm just, what? To say that T is volatile, that's why she can't get with her. That's why she can't rock with her. I was like, girl, bye. So Contessa is saying that the ladies kind of like have to give T a little wiggle room because she's feeling isolated, and she says the group feels that T has bad behavior and that they need to give her a little bit of grace. I was like, this group feels like T has bad behavior. We have seen Simone scream at the top of her lungs when Heavenly attacked her husband Cecil. Simone was screeching like a freaking banshee. Nobody said she had bad behavior. We have seen Quad go on her monologues. We have seen Quad like read people for filth. Nobody says she has bad behavior. We have seen Heavenly attack basically almost everybody's husband on this cast. Nobody's saying she has bad behavior. Quad even called Eugene a big ass bitch. Nobody says she has bad behavior, but because it's T, I was like, it's got to be two things. Is either they feel like T is too young to sit with them, or they feel like T does not have that doctorate degree, does not have a doctorate degree, so she can't sit with us. Because I'm like, you guys are literally the exact behavior you guys exhibit is what T is exhibiting, but you guys have an issue with it. Make it make sense. But I was like, Phaedra really called it, because Phaedra said, you guys are a group of mean girls and y'all are too old for this shit. Like, come on now. Ooh-wee. Okay. Okay, before they even leave, we see when everybody's like holding T back and holding King back and holding Gregory back. Dr. Mimi is speaking to T and telling T, like, they're trying to get you out of character. Don't let them get you out of character. Contessa comes over. Phaedra comes over. They like, they're holding T, try to like calm her down. And then Phaedra starts speaking in tongues. I said, oh, okay. I mean, to me, it was a little off. And not off. Okay. It wasn't off. I just didn't expect to see that. And then everybody else was caught. It was caught everybody else by surprise. To me, everybody noticed it and was just like, okay. But Dr. Simone decided to be the one in the confessionals to say something. I mean, it's her opinion. She said, this is what Dr. Simone said. Simone says, it's hard to see God choose Phaedra to speak with T, but God ain't talking to her at all about her effed up relationship with Apollo and Shireen. I said, really? Because I was like, you know what? Can somebody please go find Tammy and bring her on? I want to see how Simone keeps her composure. Because Cecil didn't even cheat. Cecil did not step out on you with this woman. But you have such visceral reaction when this woman's name is brought up. Apollo and Shireen got together when Phaedra was still pregnant with her youngest son. When Phaedra and Apollo were still married. So yes, there is some hostility there because of that. Tammy was just the best friends to your husband. And you want to Cecil to cut her off. I was like, producers, please bring Tammy on this show. I want to see how Simone keeps her composure. Because Simone got way too much shit to say in these confessionals about Apollo and Shireen and Phaedra's situation. Like, come on now. So that I wanted to speak on that because what I was saying about speaking in tongues. I grew up in a church. My mom was very much into the church, so I grew up around people speaking in tongues, and I always felt like I don't know. I had like mixed feelings about it. I was just like, I used to be like, are they playing or are they being serious? But you know what? I've learned that hey, it is what it is. I'm not even gonna go into all of that because yeah, okay. Moving on from that. This is the next day. Shireen and Apollo come over to Dr. Heavenly's room, and what's her name? Dr. Simone is there. So they get to talking about what happened the day before. And Apollo's talking about how, he just kind of felt blindsided with Shek being there because Shek is his homeboy. And Phaedra tried to make it seem like Shek and Apollo didn't know each other. Mind you, Shireen is sitting right there, right next to Apollo. And Apollo was just talking. Then Apollo was like, yeah. And then like last night after everything that happened, Shek hit me up talking about, so you want to go to the strip club? And Shireen is sitting right there. I'm like, okay. So Dr. Simone said, okay. Dr. Simone was just like, why are we discussing Phaedra right now? So Heavenly asked Apollo, because like Phaedra is very like guarded. She doesn't really open up to us. What do you think Phaedra thinks about us? And Apollo says, okay, well, all of you ladies are educated and you guys have your doctor degrees. Phaedra has lawyer. So Phaedra has her is a lawyer, so she also has her degree. So it's like a clash of the minds. It's like a battle of the minds. I guess what he's trying to say is like, Phaedra is not used to being with a group of women that's educated. So she's like trying to on Atlanta, her best friend Portia. Portia is not 265 days of the week of the year. Portia is not the brightest, is not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I guess that's what Apollo is trying to say. Like Phaedra is not used to being in a group of women that's educated. So Dr. Heavenly says, yeah, and we see right through her BS. I was like, okay, maybe that's true, maybe that's not. The same token, we get a scene with Dr. Jackie goes over to Phaedra's room, and she sees Phaedra packing, and she's asking Phaedra, what's going on? Phaedra's like, I'm leaving. Like, you're not going to play with me like this. Play with somebody else. Play with your mama, but you're not going to play with me. So she tells Dr. Jackie that she's especially surprised that out of all the ladies in the group, she had more trust in Dr. Jackie. I was like, I didn't realize you and Dr. Jackie were that close, but okay. So she felt like the ladies weren't really trying to get to know her. The ladies didn't have her back when Apollo and Shireen were kind of like, saying what they had to say. So Dr. Jackie's like, in the confessional, was like, this is not my fault. Like, I did not know Apollo. I was told that you knew that Apollo was coming. Phaedra did not confirm whether or not she knew that Apollo was coming when Jackie was talking. And I'm like, Phaedra, we all know that you knew because we saw the footage when Heavenly told you that Apollo was coming. You said, I'm not tripping over that. We're going to have a good time. So I just acknowledged that, yeah, I knew Apollo was coming, but I didn't know Shireen was coming. I didn't know they were coming on this type of BS. Like, bada bing, bada boom. Leaving, she's in her confession. She says, this group doesn't allow anyone new to survive. This is a group of mean girls. And so she gets in a private jet with Shek. I said, whose private jet is that? I was like, whose PJ is this? So Phaedra gets in a PJ and she leaves. But in terms of the mean girls, yes, this group is mean girls. And I feel like the Married to Medicine group is they're a group of elitists. Jackie, Simone, and Heavenly. Because if y'all remember, when Heavenly first joined this group, Jackie didn't like Heavenly because Heavenly was a doctor of dentistry, not doctor of medicine. So Jackie always tried to make that distinction. So I don't know what happened along the way. Now she likes Heavenly, but I feel like, and even like with Toya, they were always getting on Toya like, oh, you don't do anything. You just sit on your ass all day, have your husband go work. And then with Quad, you're not married to medicine, darling. And so it's like they're a group of elitists, and I don't like that. And they're so mean and vile. Heavenly is like the opposite of her name. She is so vile. She is vicious. She will go low, low, low. And then the thing that I hate the most is she will come and apologize. And then less than 24 hours later, she will turn around and do the same shit all over again. It's like, Heavenly, you are not sorry by any means. You are not sorry. So Phaedra, this is not her last episode because in the previews for next episode, we see she's having a discussion with Jackie. So this is not the last that we're going to see of Phaedra, but we do know that she leaves the Married to Medicine. She leaves Married to Medicine this season. So, all right, I'm reading, y'all. So, now the group is splitting up. The ladies are going rum tasting, the guys are going cigar wrapping. Shireen and Apollo have decided to leave. Dr. Gregory and T, they left the night before. So as they get in the cars, the ladies are asking like, somebody asked, where's Greg and T? And Simone was like, oh, they left. Like, they left yesterday. Like, when we were leaving the sandbar, they said that they were leaving. I said, damn, so nobody called to check up on them? Like, damn. And then the guys, when they arrived to the cigar place, they also asked, like, has anybody, like, reached out to, Greg? it was crickets. I was like, damn, you guys are not even gonna reach out to be like, hey, bro, like, how are you doing? I know last night was a lot. I said, damn, but okay. So, Simone decides to open up talking about how the last night was a shit show. This was one of like the most explosive couple strip that they've ever had, and they've never had the guys get into it and stuff like that. Decides to bring up the fact that Phaedra left, and Phaedra called them a bunch of mean girls. And Toya was like, she said that about y'all. They were like, no, she said that about us. Toya was like, I texted her this morning. She didn't say that about. She didn't say that. Oh, she didn't tell me all of that. So Toya is surprised that Phaedra left. So I feel like they were. I don't know. Maybe it was the editing, but I feel like the way they were saying it, trying to make Phaedra look like nobody really knew when she left, because it was obvious that when she left, it was daytime. It was in the morning, because Dr. Jackie still had on the same outfit that she wore when she was speaking to Phaedra. So Dr. Heavenly was trying to make it seem like Phaedra left the night before. And then Toya was like, well, I text her. She hasn't texted me back. And then Jackie was like, no, Simone was like, oh, well, she's in flight. And then Quiet was like, well, she's in a private jet, so she should be able to text. And then Heavenly was like, well, she left yesterday. And I'm like, what? Like, we saw her get on the private jet. Oh, man, unless it was an illusion, one of those, like, fake private jets. I don't know. But I was like, why y'all trying to make it seem like her timeline for leaving is inaccurate? Because Jackie still has on this, like I said, Jackie's still wearing the same outfit she had on when she was talking to Phaedra. So Phaedra left this in the morning. But y'all, we get to the guys. The guys are talking. They're saying like we have two divorced couples, and we have two new relationships, and sometimes there hasn't been enough time to heal. So having those people in the same proximity, it can, cause some clashing. And then King stepped in. King was like, it's not about being uncomfortable around somebody. It was about the disrespect. And I had to step in because you're not about to be talking to my woman crazy like that. And Dr. Heavenly's husband, what's his name? Dr. Damon was like, yeah, like King, when it comes to you defending Quad, I totally agree with that because we are men. When we feel like our wives are threatened, when we feel like our children is threatened, our family is threatened, we're gonna step in. Like, we're not just gonna sit there and just be like, oh, okay. So Dr. Damon was, he said that he was on King's side when it comes to, defending his woman. That's understandable and all of that. So yeah. And then when when Toya said that, she texted Phaedra to, I don't know, to check on her, whatever. I was like, but damn, but none of y'all gonna text T. But I mean, I know that you can't even be like, oh, her and Phaedra's friend, because we know that Phaedra is not really rocking with nobody like that on the show. But I was like, well, I guess that really goes to show, like, I don't know, where you guys stand. I don't know, for lack of a better word. Because I was like, damn, nobody's really going to text these people, like text Gregory or T to see how they're doing. But okay. This episode was... The group is getting ready for therapy, couples therapy. Toya called it. Toya was like, this group don't know nothing about no couples therapy because they don't know nothing about coupling, because everything is always toxic. Everything always leads to arguing and fighting. So Toya said, Eugene, can we just go do something else? Eugene was like, no, we gotta go we gotta go play our part. So Toya was like, all right, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna just be quiet. And Eugene was like, all right, bet, like, that's fine. As they were as they were going to the group therapy or something like that, Contessa called Gregory and they're talking, and Gregory's like, explaining his side and how he feels. And Contessa brought up a good point. She says, yes, as much as like, what's going on, we need to also give Gregory and T a chance to say it from their own perspective. Even if what they did was wrong, we still have to give them a chance to say their perspective. I mean, yeah, I heard that, but unfortunately they left, so they can't really say in the group what happened. But it's actually for the best that they left, because we don't want it to go left. We don't want the guys to actually get physical or start tussling. So it was for the best. Just like Gregory said, it don't cost them nothing to leave. It's better to leave and exercise that self-control than to be like, no, I'm gonna stay here and like whatever happens, happen. We see T and Dr. G at home. So I'm gonna read it because I wrote it down. So Dr. G is saying that when Quad was saying, this was the day that Quad was drunk. He said that when Quad said that she left him, he shouldn't have allowed that to get to him. I was like, that's really what ticked you off when Quad said that, was trying to like clear up the fact that she left you and that you didn't leave her. I was like, okay. So he says that he shouldn't have allowed that to get to him, and emotions were very high. So that's why when he blurted out like, you talk too damn much, you need to shut the F up, to Quad. So he said that somebody was going to get hurt and it was a toxic environment, that if Check hadn't been there, it would have been a fight to the death. And T was like, I don't think it was going to be all of that. When Dr. G said it was going to be a fight to the death, I kind of understand what he was saying, because in his mind it's like, all right, this man, okay, yeah, you're younger than me. Yes, you're more physically, you're more built than me, but I'm not going to let you punk me. That's what I got. So I felt like Dr. G was saying like, if King would have connected with him, Dr. G would have taken everything in him to defend himself. He was not going to let King punk him like that. And I understood what he was saying, but then T was like, I don't think would have gotten like that. I don't think they would have gotten to that point. So Greg was like, you know him? What you gonna do? T was like, I'm combat trained. Women, I'm combat trained. I've trained with men and women in the military. And she said it was many people around, so it wasn't going to even get to that point. Greg is like, you can be so naive sometimes. It's sweet. Kind of being condescending to sweet T. And I didn't appreciate it, and T didn't appreciate that. So the conversation starts getting heated. So Greg decides to leave and go upstairs. And T is like, where you going? Like, why are you storming off? Like, I'm all you got. So T decides to go upstairs and follow Dr. Greg. She goes into a room and closes the door. Dr. Greg is like, it's your fault. Don't say shit to make me go off. I was like, first of all, you're a therapist. You should. Some of these, I'm pretty sure you have clients that you've given some tips on how to, like, calm themselves, how to center themselves when they feel like they're about to be taken out of character. Why not just start using some of those exercises you give your patient? How the hell you gonna tell your wife, don't say shit to set me off? Because that shit is giving abusive tendencies. I was like, Dr. Gregory, what? What do you mean? I mean, I am a married woman. My husband has never talked to me like that. I was like, what the hell? But, okay. Where was I, y'all? And then T said, I'm entitled to my opinion, Gregory. And then Greg says, your opinion doesn't make sense. You think you know everything, don't you? T, well, I'm looking out for the team. Greg, well, you should look out for the team by listening to his leader. You making me hyped. T, don't say I'm naive. Don't do that. Gregory, I don't know who you think you're talking to. I said, what? The next thing you know, T is like saying, be quiet. So I think T was telling him be quiet is in sense of like, hey, like, we're still being recorded. Like, production is still here. Like, calm down. Like, stop saying all these things because you about to come off as like you're an abusive man. I feel like that's what because T was saying like, be quiet, like in a low voice. Like, don't let these people hear you. I don't think she was telling Gregory like, I don't think she was being disrespectful when she told him to be quiet. She was just telling him to be quiet to protect his image, because right now he is coming off as like he has abusive tendencies. So Greg, stop saying stupid stuff. You're gonna get the reaction you don't want. How about that? I said, what reaction is that, Dr. Gregory? What reaction is it that she doesn't want? I said, wow. And I really feel bad for Sweet Tea, because on this show, everybody's talking to her crazy. The ladies talk to her crazy. Her husband talking to her crazy. It's like, God damn, like, I can't even catch a damn break. Like, I feel bad for Sweet Tea. I really feel bad for Sweet Tea. So now we'll go back to Key West. There, everybody has gathered for couples therapy. Simone seems to be in charge of the couples therapy, and Dr. Mimi brings in, because as we know, Dr. Mimi's a therapist, so she brings lemons and that glass bowl that Quad made So, and they're gonna put the lemons in there, and anybody that has it is going to be able to speak. So that's what they're doing. So Dr. Mimi gets asked the first question. Do you think exes should be invited or something like that? I didn't write down the question, but it was like something along those lines. And she says like, if those exes are not healed, then they probably, I'm just in a nutshell of what Dr. Mimi said. If those people are not healed, if they have not healed from their traumas from the previous relationships, then they probably should not be in close proximity and they should be asked to leave. Jackie also kind of echoed what Dr. Mimi said. And then Toya says, I want to speak up. And then Simone tries to throw shade like, oh shit. And then Toya just rolled her eyes. And then Eugene looked at them. She was, and then Heavenly said, oh shit too. And then Simone was like, oh, my drink is hot. That's why I'm saying, oh shit. I was like, girl, no. Eugene looked at them like, girl, bye. So Toya was like, this is what Toya wrote. Toya said, Letitia and Dr. G did wrong yesterday, but we were wrong. We need to look in the mirror and realize we do some effed up shit. And in my mind, I'm like, what did T do that was wrong yesterday? Because if you're gonna say T was wrong, then you have to call out that Quad was wrong. Because let's face it, Quad started this whole thing with her drunken, going on her drunken speech. T did not say anything. T tried to talk, then Dr. G tried to shut her up. And then the previous day, only thing T did was try to like go back up her man. So Toya, what exactly did T, unless, this is an edited show, unless there was something that T did that they decided to edit out. I'm like, what exactly did T do that was wrong? Because if you're going to say T is wrong for basically just sitting there, then Quad is wrong for starting this whole domino effect. But you're not going to call her out though. So Dr. Heavenly decides to apologize for bringing T around, and that they didn't consider Quad's feelings. We know that Quad was like on the outs with the girls, so they decided to bring T around to drive the knife in a little bit. And that's really effed up that T was a pawn and she allowed herself to be a pawn with this group of ladies. Because now that they don't need her anymore, it just feels like they're starting to like ice her out, and I don't like that. I don't like when someone is being iced out. And Potomac does that. Married to Medicine does that. And a lot of these housewife shows do that. And I feel like production really needs to put their foot down. Because with Married to Medicine, we can't keep having one hit wonders. We can't just keep having people come and go, come and go, come and go. Like, something gotta give. You gotta get rid of some of these OGs. Like, break it up a little bit. Hell, get rid of Heavenly. Because some people that say that, oh, they love Heavenly, they watch the show for Heavenly. Heavenly is comedy. You ever heard that saying, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are? That's how I feel about people that gravitate towards Heavenly. People that like Heavenly. Dr. Jackie, that's how, so I feel like Dr. Jackie is exactly who Heavenly is, just in disguise. Dr. Jackie just knows how to disguise it. Because I'm like, how are you friends with somebody like Heavenly? How are you friends with somebody like this? Like, seriously, show me your friends and I'll tell you exactly who you are, Dr. Jackie. But, okay. So Eugene speaks up. He says Dr. G's feelings has to be acknowledged, and that we also have to remember that he's a part of this group. Quad speaks up. Quad is like, I'm not telling you guys to, ostracize him, to stay away from him, but I'm just saying that you guys should put yourself in my shoes, and then you'll see how you would feel. I'm like, so inadvertently you are telling them to ostracize him. That's basically what you're saying without saying it. So Cecil and Curtis say, so how does the group reach out to Greg, T, and Phaedra to let them know that they can still be a part of the group? What's it called? Cecil said, well, Phaedra might be a lost cause at this point. So, but Gregory and T, there's gonna have to be like some discussions to get to some type of middle ground on how they can remain a part of the group. So y'all, that's really what it was. They didn't really call out the bullshit. And King and Quad is sitting there like, yeah, they're right. King is right in defending his woman, because Dr. Gregory should never have told Quad to, shut the F up. That was disrespectful. But then at the same token, Quad should never have been speaking in their relationship. I don't care if you're speaking something positive. Leave their relationship alone. Their relationship ain't got nothing to do with you. Leave their relationship alone. Yeah. So y'all, that's really what happened. And then next episode, we find out that this is the discussion where there's a possibility Dr. Gregory tried to file charges, and I guess T is insinuated. The ladies feel that T wants them to choose sides, and Toya is saying that, well, if I have to choose sides, I'm damn sure not gonna choose you. So I was like, okay, but that they're literally like ostracizing T out, and on Instagram the last few days she's just been like going in on the ladies. I was like, damn. I mean, I don't know what to tell T, because to be honest with you, she really ain't got no ally on this show. I feel like for next season, they need to bring in somebody that can be an ally on the show. I think that's what they're trying to do with Dr. Mimi, but I'm not sure what happened because we haven't really seen that much footage of Dr. Mimi and T. But they need to bring, if T isn't to stay for another season, this is possibly going to be her last season. But if she comes back next season, she needs to have an ally, because I can't go. It's gonna become like Potomac, because I'm not trying to watch another season of everybody ganging up on T. Cause no, that's just that's not because no, that's no, because these shows are supposed to be from lighthearted entertainment, lighthearted shade, not y'all going to the gutter. Like, that's the thing. Like, no, you guys are supposed to be fighting over, oh, my purse is bigger than yours. Oh, like, I don't know what but not this. Like, come on now. But y'all, you guys let me know what you think about the episode in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.